Good afternoon, everyone. I'm District Attorney Champ Crocker, and joining me today from the Alabama Law Enforcement Agency Marine Patrol are Chief Matt Brooks, Lieutenant Chad Pate, Senior Trooper Kyle Stevenson. On Wednesday, April 16, 2025, a group of men were on a company-sponsored fishing trip on Smith Lake. They were on a center console fishing boat operated by Gary Holcomb, who is a professional fishing guide for over 30 years. At 7 a.m., while actively fishing and stationary at the Miller Flats area, another vessel traveling at 67 miles per hour crashed into them. The crash killed 3 of the men. Joey Broom, 58, of Sneed, Alabama. John Kelly Clark, 44, of Cullman. Jeffrey Little, 62, of Brandon, Mississippi. Seriously injured were Gary Holcomb of Cullman and Luke Morgan of Albertville. There was an extensive recovery effort by multiple agencies who I want to recognize: the Cullman County Sheriff's Office, Cullman County Emergency Management Agency, Cullman County Dive Team, Cullman County Coroner's Office, Cullman County Emergency Medical Services, Crane Hill Fire Department, Bremen Fire Department, Cold Springs Fire Department, Logan Fire and Rescue, Jones Chapel Fire and Rescue, Alabama Fire Marshal's Office, along with troopers from the Aaliyah Marine Patrol who led this investigation. I also want to recognize the Alabama State Bureau of Investigation and the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency who assisted Marine Patrol in the post-crash investigation. This was a complex and time-consuming investigation. When the investigation was completed, the findings were presented to a Cullman County grand jury. That happened yesterday. The grand jury is made up of 18 citizens from all walks of life. The grand jury took an oath to diligently inquire into all indictable matters that occurred in Cullman County and to seek the truth without envy, favor, or malice. A grand jury has the authority to indict and the authority to dismiss. An indictment or charge is an accusation, and of course any defendant is presumed innocent until proven guilty. This matter has gotten a lot of attention, but I want to emphasize that no one has more information about this case than the grand jury. After reviewing all the available evidence, the grand jury has charged Flint Davis of Leesburg, Georgia, with the following offenses: 3 separate counts of manslaughter for the deaths of Joey Broom, John Kelly Clark, and Jeffrey Little; 2 counts of first-degree assault for the injuries to Gary Holcomb and Luke Morgan; 1 count of reckless operation of a vessel; 1 count of failure to follow boating rules; 1 count of boating without a license. Mr. Davis was taken into custody last night and has since posted bail. In addition to the indictment, the grand jury issued findings and recommendations, and they authorized me to make these findings and recommendations public, which I will now read. Quote, "In addition to the indictment we have issued, we unanimously make the following findings and recommendation which we authorize to be made public. Number 1, that all fishing tournaments in the state of Alabama require participants to provide proof of boating safety certification, boating licenses, and any other license required by law. Number 2, that all fishing tournaments in the state of Alabama facilitate safety education for participants. Number 3, the facilitators of fishing tournaments owe a duty to participants, to non-participants who happen to be on the water during fishing tournaments, and the general public to promote safety during fishing tournaments," signed by the grand jury foreperson. Now, as a prosecutor, I am limited on what I can say about the facts and evidence in this case. However, the rules of professional conduct make an exception on matters of public safety. We are not taking any questions today for several reasons, but this crash was caught on video. After consulting with the victims, families, and law enforcement, I have authorized the release of a limited portion of this crash. There are rules of the road when it comes to the water, just like there is on the highway. And we want the public to understand and follow these rules and to appreciate the dangers of not doing so, and to appreciate the potential dangers of boating. We're going to play this video for you in just a moment. What we're going to show you is 11 seconds long. And after I speak, Chief Brooks will have some remarks. Go ahead.
The Marine Patrol Division of the Alabama Law Enforcement Agency's Department of Public Safety is responsible by Alabama statute and a memorandum of agreement with the United States Coast Guard for the investigation and reporting of all boating incidents on Alabama's public waters. On the morning of April 16th, Marine Patrol troopers, along with numerous local law enforcement and rescue agencies, responded to a two-vessel collision that occurred on Smith Lake in Cullman County. At approximately 7 a.m., a 2019 Nitro Z21 bass boat operated by Mr. Flint Davis of Leesburg, Georgia, struck a stationary 2007 Cape Craft CC-22 center console vessel with the owner-operator and 4 passengers on board just off Calvert Point in the Miller's Flat area of Ryan Creek on Smith Lake here in Cullman County. The collision resulted in the deaths of 3 persons on board the Cape Craft and critical injuries to the operator and another of his passengers. Mr. Davis was participating in the Tackle Warehouse Invitational Bass Fishing Tournament hosted by Major League Fishing on Smith Lake at the time of the incident. Mr. Gary Holcomb of Cullman, Alabama, the owner and operator of the Cape Craft, was conducting a guided fishing trip with 4 clients on board at the time. Both operators and the passengers on board the vessels were simply trying to take advantage of the excellent fishing opportunities that Smith Lake offers. The air temperature was 43 degrees and the water temperature was 62 degrees. The weather was clear with good visibility. The wind was light, water conditions were calm. It was full daylight. The lake was not congested. Vessel traffic was light, even with the fishing tournament ongoing. Alcohol was not a factor. The weather was not a factor. Other vessel traffic was not a factor. Water conditions or other environmental conditions were not factors. Excessive speed was not a factor. The collision did not happen as a result of the tournament's blast-off procedures for the start of the tournament. What then contributed to this collision, resulting in the loss of 3 lives, critical injuries sustained by the survivors, and the lives of families impacted forever by the loss of their loved ones? Operator inattention, distraction, not paying attention, failing to keep a proper lookout. Mr. Davis traveled in a straight line at a consistent speed with unobstructed forward view for at least 1 mile prior to striking the Cape Craft, a vessel our investigation indicates Mr. Davis clearly did not see. Mr. Davis did not possess a valid Georgia boater education card, which he is required to obtain before operating a vessel on the public waters in his home state of Georgia. And he did not possess a valid Alabama non-resident vessel operator certification or license. The Code of Alabama, specifically Title 33, required Mr. Davis to have held one of those at the time of the incident in order to have legally operated a motorized vessel in Alabama's water. Boater safety education in both states covers an operator's duties regarding maintaining a proper lookout and the dangers of distracted operation, as well as the requirements of the navigational rules of road. According to the U.S. Coast Guard's annual report for 2024, there were 3,887 boating incidents in the United States that resulted in 556 deaths, 2,107 injuries, and approximately $88 million in property damage. Operator inattention, improper lookout, operator inexperience, machinery failure, and failure to follow the rules of the road ranked as the top 5 primary contributing factors in these incidents nationwide. 4 of those 5 contributing factors are also in Alabama's top 5 contributing factors. Of the top 5 contributing factors in our state, 3 played a key role in this incident: operator inattention, improper lookout, and failure to follow the rules of the road. In closing, we would recommend all boaters in Alabama take a safe boating course. We recommend that all boaters know what's required of them prior to going to the water, to check and double check to make sure they have everything they need and that is required, and to know and follow the rules and regulations. For more information on boating laws in Alabama, or to sign up for a safe boating course offered by the Marine Patrol Division, please visit our website at www.alea.gov. Thank you for your time.
I just want to conclude this by thanking Chief Brooks, Lieutenant Pate, and Senior Trooper Stevenson for being here. They all have done tremendous work on this case, as well as so many others at ALEA and the Marine Patrol, and we appreciate their commitment to public safety. Thank you.